Hey. We're learning things today.
Got a remote.
Yeah, we got a whole setup. We bought this months and months ago and didn't do a single video. So, is this your
Sorry.
first time using it?
Mm-hmm.
See how the lights? Look at how.
I don't look like a ghost.
Look how good my hand looks.
And it's been 5 months since my last video, and for the first time in over a year, I have a real haircut.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just barely, and I've only had the back of my hair cut. So I've been walking around with like a dated 80s mullet kind of thing. And thanks to my sweet friend, I have a very cute little bob. I'm really excited. I feel cute.
She's adorable.
Quick update, and then we're gonna move on really quick. I got my port taken out because I'm finally done doing all those kind of treatments. Still on some maintenance kind of stuff. If you see me whip this out, or you see me all of a sudden change color, I'm just having a hot flash, and I'll get over it. We're letting the dog out. I was hoping he would stay, and you could see him because he is the sweetest dog in the world.
I promise I won't whip anything out during this.
And Troy got a haircut too.
I did. Jody did that.
Doesn't he look beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
I had a teacher in high school that every time he got his haircut, every single time somebody would say, "Hey, you got a haircut?" and he'd go, "I got them all cut." Every single time.
I would probably think it was funny every time.
It got funny. It got funny because he got a haircut like every 2 weeks. Got them all cut.
I love jokes like that.
He didn't laugh either. It was like a habit. He just said it. You got a haircut. Got them all cut.
I wonder if he just didn't want anyone to say anything, so he just said that.
Teachers.
Weird old man. Anyway, I haven't felt cute enough to be on the camera, honestly. It's really superficial, but that's the truth,
Poor
folks.
thing.
I'm sorry. And I'm still tired a lot of times.
Yeah.
So, I'll come home and just go to sleep sometimes.
I told her there's a lot of ugly people on the internet, but she didn't. She was uninterested.
I didn't want to be one of them. I'm sorry. I haven't read as much as I should have, probably. I waste a lot of time. I love games on my phone. And right now, there's one that I play with one of my kids called Sega Heroes, and it's so much fun. And everything I read has been Philippa Gregory and some of The Hobbit again, because it's my favorite. I did finish her Whiteacre series.
Don't tell the ending.
And I didn't like the first 2 books because of that thing. But aside from that, they were really good. And this one was my favorite. And they're really beautiful. And
Something about them redheads.
and I read Philippa Gregory's The King's Curse and The Boleyn Inheritance.
Wow.
And that's it. I think there may have been other ones, but I can't remember anything these days.
Yeah. We had to go back and watch some videos to see what we even talked about the last time. So I mentioned this book, and I have read it since then, Clive Cussler, The Mediterranean Caper. And it was really good, and it really surprised me in a lot of places because I was thinking, because I've always seen these books, so I always thought that these started like in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, And then I started reading it, and I was like, man, this seems, like there's the very first scene in the book. If you were to meet a man on the beach, and y'all were having a conversation, and he just slapped you, how long before you make love to him?
Never.
It takes Dirk Pitt 10 minutes. 10 minutes from slapping to slapping.
To spelunking.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's different. You know what I mean? I mean, you watch those older movies, you know, like you watch some of those old John Wayne movies. He's slapping women all over the
Yeah,
place.
what's the deal with that?
He kisses them like he's crushing their face in. And I was, but this book actually came out in 1973. So
Is it just a thing?
Uncle Clive has been around for a long time. Things I've noticed in golly, I can't remember the guy that directed all those movies, a lot of the John Wayne movies, the real famous ones.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of his name, but there's a girl always gets a spanking in them. That's another thing I've noticed in those movies.
Is that a thing that people would for real do? I don't remember like hearing like my grandparents or anybody talk about like getting a spanking from their husband. But
Like a grown,
was that a thing?
A grown woman, a 30-year-old woman get a spanking. It was there. I can't believe I forgot that guy's name. I watch all of his movies, and there's always that. But anyways, this surprised me though, because you know your typical Mickey Spillane, those type of guys, those pulp heroes. I was watching YouTube. There was an old video back in the 90s I used to watch. It was called Thunder and Destruction from NFL Films. And there was a guy on there named Harry Edward, and he was talking about Ronnie Lott. But it's on YouTube if you want to see it. But Harry Edward talking about Ronnie Lott. He says, "This is a guy who utterly refused to lose. He does not understand the concept of giving up. He does not understand the concept of defeat. And even when we have lost games, when you go back and look at Ronnie Lott's play, he won. He was not dominated. He was not defeated. He was not fooled. He was not tricked. I think if one word describes Ronnie Lott, it would be supreme determination." So if one word was to describe a lot of these guys, it would be supreme determination. But that's not true in this. He is fooled. He is tricked. You know, he does get down sometimes. You know, he's still, you know, 1,000% of man, but he's not totally untouchable in every way. Like I read Morgan the Raider, Mickey Spillane book, and he doesn't even almost lose. In that book, he actually wins a woman over by constantly threatening to rape her. How would that work? Well.
Maybe catch him unawares and bob it that thing off.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But that does describe The Last Gunfighter from William W. Johnstone. That is exactly how this guy is. And I enjoyed this book. It was fun. It was exactly what you would think it is. It made me believe there was a Sasquatch in it. And I'm really not giving anything away, but there's not a Sasquatch in it. There is a creature in it, but he's not a Sasquatch. So I was a little disappointed with that. But it was good. And what I found fun about this, and I don't know if all Johnstone books are like this. I've read a bunch of them, and I don't remember it being so much, but like when you read Goosebumps, you know, every time a chapter breaks, they're always like, and then I turned around and there was a three-eyed monster and the chapter will break, you know, and then it's a new chapter. He did that in this. And I don't know how many chapters it is, but most of the chapters end with a gunshot. He hears a gunshot and something whizzes past his head and bounces off a rock into the chapter. And you know, of course, you go into the next chapter.
I wonder if it came out like in serials or something.
I don't know. It seemed like it could have. But I enjoyed it. This is one with J.A. Johnstone also. So I don't know how. Yeah, this came out in 2009. So, you know, I know the word is that William W. wrote a lot of these outlines for these books, and then supposedly J.A. went and wrote them. But there's like 50,000. So that's a lot of writing for anybody. Where are you at now?
You can keep going. I don't have as much as you do.
Oh, then all I had was I finished Map of Bones, which is the next in the Sigma Force. And this one was good, but see how thick it is? You know, it's like literally a brick. But the thing about this is I don't really care to learn a lot, you know, when I'm sitting down reading. And this dude did his research. James Rawlins did his research. And boy, does he ever prove that he did his research. I mean, you'll start reading this and it'll give you a little bit of story, and then it might go into a 20 pages of the history of an aqueduct, or 20 pages of the history of some underground place at the Vatican. And I mean, it's, you know, it's all great. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love it. Jody would probably like this, you know, but it's just not for me. But I did enjoy the story, and I am going to read the next one. I enjoy the characters, and there's a lot of kind of military sci-fi, which is kind of something that I've found as I get older I seem to get more and more into, and there's plenty of that in this. So the parts that I liked of this I really liked, and the rest I just was bored by, but that's just because of how my brain works. You know, there's a lot of people that want to know things, you know. Oh, just had a cat and a dog run by. But that's all I've got from what I've read. The rest is purchases and to be reads. What you want me to do?
I can't remember anything that I've purchased since 5 months ago.
What about audiobooks?
I'm listening to Man in the Iron Mask, and it is a lot like if you actually read or listen to The Hunchback of Notre Dame. It's nothing like movies. I mean, a little bit, but there's a lot more to the book than like if you watch the Leonardo DiCaprio Man in the Iron Mask. There's a lot more to it than just that, and parts of it are really funny. I don't know how much longer I have on that because, like I said, I listen to that stuff on the way to and from work only because I cannot listen to an audiobook while I'm at my desk, because I will realize that I'm listening to the book and I'm just sitting at my computer like this. Or I'm working and then I'm like, oh yeah, I was listening to a book. So I just get, like 20 to 30 minute, snippets of it. But it's really good. I really, really like it. That's another that I think that I would enjoy more, having like an actual book in my hands. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I've been reading except for bits of The Hobbit.
I've got some purchases. I found this. This is new, but this was totally a cover purchase. And I read the back, and it does seem like it would be good. I'm not going to even try to say that name. Egypt, 1888. In the booby-trapped tomb of an ancient sorcerer, Ram, a young Egyptologist, makes the discovery of a lifetime. 5 coffins and an eerie, oversized sarcophagus. But the expedition seems cursed, for after unearthing the mummies, death strikes. So then it cuts to Ram faithfully returns to America with his disturbing cargo, continuing by train to Los Angeles, home of the reclusive sponsor. There's a lot going on. We've got animals running amok.
Yeah, sorry about the picture shaking. That was Brody
There he
sending
goes.
the camera.
Yeah. But anyway, it's got gunslingers ride to Mexico, bring the malevolent mummies back. If only the dead mummies were their biggest problem. But look at this cover. This came out in 2018.
Wow, I'm so proud of whoever decided to do that, because man, a lot of covers now are terrible.
And here's the writer, S.A. Sidor. But yeah, so I was like, this is a series too, and I looked and made sure that Jody looked for me, and it said that was the first one. So
looks very Indiana Jones.
yeah, I got that, and I saw on Cameron Chaney's channel, because I finished Paperbacks from Hell, and I said in that video I was going to be sad when it was over, and I am. But I saw from Cameron Chaney's channel the Collected Pulp Horror. This was only $5 on Amazon. I guess it was some type of magazine that they just put all their books together, and it's talking about all the books and showing they're not color, but it's got all the stuff like I like,
Oh, that one doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
But I'm looking forward to reading this. I just haven't gotten a chance yet. And I got to put it down or I'll just start looking at it. But I picked those up, and I also picked up, I got some books from some, I guess, indie authors, Amazon authors. which I'm not sure. This Peter Laws, I'm not sure if he would be considered an Amazon author. Anyway, I got some books by some authors, and this one's Peter Laws, The Frighteners, and Why We Love Monsters, Ghosts, Death, and Gore. And he's actually, his nickname is the Sinister Minister. He's actually an ordained pastor, minister, and he has a peterlaws.uk at Reverend Peter Laws. But he is an ordained reverend. He's supposed to be a professional nice person, so why does he spend his spare time watching gruesome horror films, shooting zombies, and writing crime novels? What is it that makes so many of us seek to be disgusted and freaked out? Grab your crucifixes, pack the silver bullets, and join the sinister minister on his strange, scary, and often hilarious quest to understand what our macabre tendencies can teach us about humanity, society, and spirituality. So that sounded really cool to me, something I've always wondered myself. But he has a good YouTube channel too. He's really funny. But he'll talk about movies and stuff. And then I've got Combat Frame Exceed, which is kind of that military sci-fi thing. This is supposed to be like a Gundam series. The future is over. Civilization on Earth has collapsed. Oligarchs have established a new order in man-made space colonies at the Earth-Moon Lagrange points. So this is rising violence with giant man robots called combat frames. So
Sounds
it's
cool.
supposed to be I guess it's not like Gundam, but it's got the big robots and all, and it's for I guess more of an American audience. I don't know how, I'm not sure how he would describe it, but he has a there's the name down there. He has a Twitter that he goes into detail about these things. But he was a fan of Gundam and wanted to bring something like it,
Brandon Nehemiah?
I guess that's how you say it. But it sounded like everything that I've been looking for. I love giant robot stuff. So I saw that. I had to pick it up. There's 3 of these. There's actually 2. One of them's in a Kickstarter now. So picked that up. And then my to be read. Or you want to do yours?
We can take turns. You can go ahead and do one, and then I'll do one.
You do one. I've been talking.
Okay. I haven't read it yet. I got this for Christmas, kinda as a joke. There's a lady I work with that is just one of the sweetest people I've ever met. She loves these books, and I just love her so much. So that's kind of encouraged and motivated me to read it. Maybe it won't be as cheesy as what I'm anticipating. I don't know. A lot of people read them, so they must be all right.
Yeah.
I know, but I always joke about I don't want to read those, because I don't know. These just don't. I assume that these are not going to have as much depth to them as the stuff that I really like to read. But I might be wrong. So I'm going to read it. I promise.
And I got another William W. Johnstone. This is the first of a series that looks pretty long. I don't know how many books are in it, but
That's a
Out
great
of the Ashes.
title.
Yeah, and it's just a post-apocalyptic country is ended, all that kind of thing. There's a lot of roving gangs and the repressive rule of the new government,
I like how that starts off. The back of it says, Ben Raines, contact us.
Yeah. America itself hangs in the balance, and Raines must win to bring the country out of the ashes. So there you go.
That sounds good.
Yep. And for October, we got Halloween coming up, so I wanted to get some Halloween stuff. So I picked up the first in the Devils series. I had to make a list of these. I don't know if you can see it, but we had to make a list. I had to make a list to make sure, because I wanted to start from the beginning, but it's another William W. Johnstone. And the first is The Devil's Kiss.
That's William W. Johnstone?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Wow.
Zebra.
That looks like
Yep, Zebra horror.
I didn't know that he did horror.
Yeah, he did a bunch. He did a couple of series. But
I didn't pick out any October like spooky books.
This is about a guy named Black Wilder. Has waited a long time to come to Whitfield, but he is no stranger to patience. A year, 10 years, 100 years. Time has no meaning for him. He just waits until the moment is right, and then he emerges silently and unmercifully.
Ugh, that sounds scary.
The beast are hungry, the undead are awake, the putrid stench of evil hangs in the air, and the inhabitants of Whitfield are about to be touched by And then Jody's dad has been trying to get me to read this book for
years,
over a decade. And it's The House, Frank Peretti and Ted Decker. Yep. So I'm going to read that this year. And it actually, I don't know why I haven't read it yet, but
probably just because somebody's been telling you to read it.
I'm sorry, that might be it. Enter House, where you'll find yourself thrown into a killer's deadly game in which the only way to win is to lose and the only way out is in. The stakes of the game become clear when a tin can is tossed into the house with rules scrawled on it, rules that only a madman or worse could have written, rules that make no sense but yet must be followed. 1 game, 7 players, 3 rules. The game ends at dawn.
Sounds kind of like the Saw movies.
The House.
Doesn't it?
Yep.
Kinda?
The only way out is in.
Too stupid to understand that.
Yeah, I had to.
So I didn't pick out any kind of spooky books, but for October, I will probably either read
a book with a
spooky
skeleton.
books. I'll probably either read like Agatha Christie or some of our Goosebump books.
That'd be fun.
That's probably what I'll do for October. I'm going to continue on the Gregory train with The Taming of a Queen. You know, so far on these books, my favorite ones are like told from the point of view of people that I didn't even know about. You know, like they're really good. And like the other Boleyn girl is probably one of my favorite ones because it's not Anne.
Right.
It's her sister, and it's so good. Like, that's a book that I'm going to read again one day.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the ones that's like in the worst shape, though. But still, only paid like $2 or $3 for it, so I'm all right with that. I want it to read it, not, you know, for it to look great. Which, I mean, given the choice, I would probably get one with a different cover because it just looks like a picture of a person.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are like
People
that.
are figuring it out, though. I mean, 2018, you know, that's it.
Yeah. And then I'm going to read the other Anne Rice, The Road to Cana, because I really enjoyed the first one. It was really cool. She did a great job of really capturing what it was like during that time, but filling in those blanks that we don't know about.
And I'm reading this right now, too. Dick Tracy. I might have shown this before, but it's just the history of the author and the character, and it's a beautiful thing. It's got all those old stuff in it. And I can tell you what, with the modern day intensity of scrutiny on everything, tell you what, these guys were fearless. These guys are absolutely fearless.
I didn't see what just fell out of that book.
Yeah, I lost my bookmark. Like I said, something about them redheads, right? Jody's been a redhead before.
Yeah, I don't feel like doing that anymore.
Yep.
It's too much trouble.
Got them all red.
Yeah, this is what I've been reading. It's one of my favorite books, and this is one of those ones where it's made out of like some synthetic man-made leather. So like as soon as you touch it, it just starts peeling off.
Made out of
so it looks like
leather.
trash now. Yeah. But I have a few more copies, so it's okay.
We're gonna do a video one day where you just show all of your.
If I do collect anything, it's probably Tolkien books.
She has 5 copies of The Lord of the Rings, and probably just as many of
Hobbit.
the Hobbit. Every Hobbit that she sees that she doesn't have, she'll buy it. If
Yeah.
one is this tall and then there's another one that's this tall, she'll get both of them, same cover.
Yeah. So if anybody ever wants to buy me anything,
Yep, just
a copy of
Hobbits.
those, we'll do it. Really happy that at Ollie's they've had David Day, like the encyclopedia type things. You know, they've had all of those there. You know, so I've been able to snag those for like $3-4.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Wanna
Yeah.
Come say bye. Come here. Come here. Sit. Here's our buddy. Can't see him. Oh,
He likes to snuggle.
yeah.
He's been sick because it hasn't rained here in forever.
Yeah, we've got. Come here.
And people are they're we have cotton
There he
fields
is,
close
some
to
of
our
them.
house, and
Yeah.
so his eyes have been red and goopy.
He's happy though.
Yes, he's so sweet.
There he is.
He has a face, I promise.
Yeah. He's a big lap dog.
Yeah.
I've been surprised he hasn't been in here with us.
He's been chasing the cat. I'm sure you heard Ozzy protesting, but
Yeah.
he likes it no matter what he says.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry it's been so long. Hopefully,
Going to do. You got to do some Alterna books.
Hopefully, I won't be such a slacker and it won't be 5 months before I do another video. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your Sunday.